Welcome to the first episode of Behind the Name, hosted by
Shay
and Conor, and we're delighted to welcome today former Wakefield Trinity, Sydney Rooster, and now Saint Lewis Murphy.
Good to have me, good to be here.
Thanks for coming on, mate. We're going to throw you straight in there at deep end, actually.
Yeah.
Quick question. 2 players, one player that you wouldn't want to be stranded on a desert island with, and one that you would like to be, or if you had to pick one, you'd need one on there to help you on a desert island. So we'll start off with who would you not want to be stranded with?
Who would I not want to be stranded with?
Can be anyone.
Yeah, past don't know which club.
What, does anyone at all?
Yeah, so it can be from Wake or Roosters.
Oh, I don't even know, that's quite hard, you know.
Or
someone that annoys you or something like that.
Someone that annoys me.
Someone you avoid on bus. On
yeah, you don't just think
do I not like Conrad or all because we won't get anything done? He'd just be making jokes
Conor
all the time.
Yeah.
Just me.
I can see that.
Yeah.
He's making jokes. It would be also good because it'd be funny, but no, he'd end up eating me or something.
And then someone who would be saving you.
Saving me.
Who's the
Isaac
pro?
Shaw. He drove me to Wake all those years, like 3 years straight when I wasn't driving, so he'll be saving me on Ireland as well.
So Isaac Shaw. So without Conor, and then Isaac Shaw to save the day.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Solid,
and then I've got to ask, what he as good as what he says he was?
He was. He had a mean left foot step. He did.
Everything off left. He
tells me, he says if it weren't for all scouts that weren't watching properly, he said he's been playing for England now.
I know watched us, didn't I? No one watched us.
And he says he's best at COD as well, but I'm not sure.
I did tell him, you were the only person, FIFA, COD or all like that,
gaming.
And you're the only person that used to have to come on Fortnite back in the day, he gets a win.
You did say top 3 and you mentioned Murph and me, so it's valid. We'll get into it then. So sort of taking us kind of right back to sort of like growing up really, like what did that look like for people that don't know growing up, family life, when did you start playing, all that sort of stuff, what did that kind of look like for you?
Grew up around Newsham, started playing when I was like 6 years old, so for as long as I can remember really. My uncle got me into it, so he used to play a bit of rugby as well. It was me, my sister and my brother, older brother, younger sister. And then just started playing rugby forever really, for as long as I can remember, just at Newsham. Then later on when Newsham folded into Underbank, and then that was all my amateur rugby.
Underbank, is that the
Underbank pitch,
Jesus, I remember when I get pushed in touch there once, I thought I ended up in other field.
It's a shocking pitch, especially going uphill.
It's bad.
Yeah. I'm sure I remember playing centre going down left side, and I'm sure it was like going up skate ramp, going up like this so and then going back down. So you finished all that your last sort of community club team, Underbank?
Yeah, Underbank, last community club,
And then obviously from that, there were no sort of scholarship or at that point, nothing?
No, I went through none of that process.
No pathway programmes or anything like
any
that?
Any scouts at Underbank games?
No, not as well. If there was, they didn't pick me anyway.
Maybe that's why you didn't get picked.
That's the problem.
So Underbank, played there and then went off to college.
Yeah.
And then is that kind of where it sort of, did you have sort of any idea that you were thinking down that road, or were you just never that fussed really?
Flowing through life, then I always wanted to be playing rugby still, and I knew I was decent at rugby.
So that was the goal, like even when you were younger?
Yeah,
you were thinking,
I always wanted to be.
Player,
I always wanted to be a rugby player. I went to college and they had a college team, and that's kind of like the pathway you can get to the academy. And went there, didn't think anything of it. Still enjoyed playing my rugby, so I was playing for the college team, doing quite well. And then
what were that like, sort of like doing course alongside?
Oh yeah, I was doing a sports course. Didn't really care for the sports course, but at that age, I don't know, I would just float.
So you're well invested in your course. Shout out Wakefield College.
Yeah, it's like the same thing, like you can do your sports and then play at the same time, so it's kind of like the system they have going on over there.
So were there anything to do with Wakefield Trinity at the time then? Were it sort of like the rugby sessions ran by then, or
the college coach was the academy coach, so if he's seen someone he'd say come
that's
down.
Handy, isn't it?
This Mark Applegath?
Yeah, Mark Applegath,
So then obviously at that point, were he head of youth at that point?
Yeah, head of youth and then got to the academy as well,
And then I'm asking, I've got to do a shout out, only because one of my mates is asked me this, so I'll see if you can give him a shout out. Who he reckons he was single-handedly responsible for your development
For me,
in the gym?
Ash.
Ash Robinson.
Yeah, Ash, yeah, he was. He taught me. I never knew how to sprint. I knew I was fast, but I never knew any of my mechanics of how to sprint.
It's funny, I seen him the other day, actually. I saw Lewis Murphy's coming on. He was like, well, if you don't mention me.
Any of the academy boys had mentioned him because he was our S&C and he was great with it. And I think he kind of took a bit of a care into me because he knew like the genetics and how strong and fast he can get me. So yeah, it helped me a lot.
Yeah, it's a shame he's not being involved in the game anymore. I don't think he's gone in police now.
Yeah, I remember him saying he was.
He loved it. He knew his stuff. I remember he was training me at one point, but I thought I had to give him a shout out at that point. So yeah, well done, Ash. You got your shout out, mate. So yeah, obviously fast forward, you obviously get your kind of picked up at that point. So is that feeding into the academy then? Yes, that point at Wakey.
Did that year of college and then. Halfway through the college, that's when I started training with the academy and eventually playing for him,
Right, so you're sort of 16, 17 at that point?
Yeah, like 17, and then COVID hit around that time, didn't it? So we had like a year off from the academy. And then when I was like 18, 19, we had 1 year of academy rugby.
Were it 19 still at that point, or were it had gone back to 18?
I think it was just one academy then.
Well, it was under 18s, and then because of COVID hit, it went to under 19.
They stayed on it.
So if it didn't change, we would have missed it. So good job they changed it.
So would you say then, sort of like when sort of Mark Applegarth takes you through there, are you still at this point thinking, I've got a chance here, possibly might actually make it? Were it kind of a fast forward from your college academy, next minute how long before your first team? Like what did that look like?
It all happened in the space of a year, really. I knew I was doing that coming up to that academy year. I knew I was decent in my position. I knew I could get somewhere, so just trained hard and then called me up to start training with the first team, me and a few others. And then from there I thought there really is a chance here if I just carry on doing well. And then eventually just got my contract. So
that sort of straight up first team contract, were it a big deal? Were it a case of like a 1 year contract, see how you go?
Just a 2 year. Just 2 year, yeah.
And then you've gone straight into. So how old are you then at this point? So you've started training then with first team.
I was 18.
So 18.
So I made my debut when I was.
That was 2022.
2022, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just about to turn 20.
So that was sort of like a quick breakthrough, really, wasn't it? 2022 breakthrough year.
Yeah, because I only got the chance because both our wingers were injured, so
who were wingers at that point?
Tom Lynham got injured and Tom Johnson,
as well.
Both injured. So
bad debut, that wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It
was the worst ever. Yeah.
I didn't want to beat up, mate.
No, I just remember watching it. I thought, I didn't even message. I thought I'll give him a few days before I messaged him.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, which is crazy, isn't it? Looking now.
That's
looking back now, that doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it don't matter.
But at the time,
I thought I'm over. I'm not doing anything now.
That's the roller coaster, isn't it? You turn up, you're on a high. Like, how does that come about? Getting told that for people obviously don't know what it's like. You're training.
Yeah.
Probably not looking like you're going to get an opportunity. Thinking, there's 2 first choice wingers.
Yeah.
What are my chances of getting in? For people that don't know, like, what does that look like in the build up to that game, that weekend? Like, does the coach come and speak to you early in the week? Is it a late call up? Like, what did it look like? Do you remember?
It was I think it was on the Tuesday. I think the game might have been on the Friday or the Saturday. And Willie came up to me and told me pretty early, like, you're going to make your debut. So tell your family or whatever. But
and who was the coach at the time?
Willie Poaching.
Also Poaching.
Yeah, Willie Poaching. Yeah. It was really nice to be as well, especially after the debut that I had. I thought I'm probably not going to get a look in now the rest of the year. And as well as like the senior players like Tom Johnson, after that game they went up to me and said, you have to play him again, or he's just going to kill his confidence.
Yeah, of course.
To be fair, we do speak like obviously it wasn't the best debut, but I have seen worse. To be fair.
There's been worse.
I made it out like it was worse than I've seen in my life.
We used to get game scores after the game. And as soon as I looked at mine, it was in minus. I thought I didn't even know you could go in minus that bad. I just scrunched up.
Is that based off your GPS stuff and all that?
Your contributions, like try causes, errors and stuff like that. And I was like top for everyone. So I thought I'm not even going to look at that again.
So top for wrong reasons on debut.
Yeah.
So then did you go straight back in following week then?
Yeah, I think there was a game and then I played the Challenge Cup against Warrington.
Right.
And I went, okay, in that game I can score a try with me.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
Me and Corey all in centre or wing, and it was good. Yeah.
Sweet. So again, like we talk about, sort of like for just thinking of like younger lads now, not even just Super League, but wherever they are, there is that opportunity, isn't there? Like you might not always sort of go how you want it. It's not I can imagine you're thinking of that game, aren't you? And you're probably visualising, I'm scoring it, corner, and all the rest of it. What's it going to be like? It was a TV game, wasn't it?
Yeah, TV game. So like, even TV games every week. And
you went to Barbers that week.
Yeah, everything.
Got hair done
already.
Yeah, next minute it just don't go, but that's just unfortunate how it goes. But I suppose you'll know that now, won't you? I'm not saying you're sort of like senior approach, you're still young, aren't you? But you've probably got lads now that'll come through. I'm just thinking of like Dagnall and stuff at Saints coming through, and you probably, if that were to happen to them, you'd know how to probably respond, like you say Tom Johnson did. You know how to respond, don't you, to it, which is you just learn from it, I suppose, don't you?
Yeah, I just took in my stride, really. Just was what it was, and just go to the next game.
Sweet.
How many games did you play that year?
19 that year.
Was it 19 that year?
19, I think I played 19 Super League and then like 20.
Was that your first
21.
year of your contract then?
What? First year of my contract, yeah.
And did you take an extension on that year then, from that? Because obviously it wasn't just like a breakthrough, was it? You killed it, didn't you?
No, just left it at that because I knew I had a year left. And
left it running from that point into 23.
Yeah.
I suppose that takes us through then to that year, the following year comes round. You then obviously do the ACL.
Yeah.
Talk us through that. Obviously, it just seems to be more and more common. Like it's an injury. Even when I were younger, like, I've done the same injury, and I never even heard of it before at that point. But I know now I've seen Sporties. I don't know if before it would just, or the damage the knee or whatever. It just were never mentioned. There's a lot more science behind it in there now, but it just seems more and more common. Like, again, you go into a game, you visualise it, you think what's going to happen. Before you know it, you're going off and you've been told you're probably not going to play for 12 months. Yeah. Talk us through that if you can. Like, what was that like?
It was awful. I thought it wasn't going to be that bad. Like, I knew obviously it's going to hurt not being playing for like that long, but no, it was tough. I knew straight away as soon as I landed on my knee, this ain't normal. I knew this was going to be pretty serious. And when they were testing my knee, I could see them like being a bit wary, so I knew it was probably going to be my ACL. But I had good people around me to help me get through that. It is a bad surgery, but I've had quite, especially with Tom being there as well, because he messaged me because I probably ended up shouting out because he had a lot to do with like mate Wakefield, him being injured quite a bit at the start of his early in his career. He helped me kind of get through my injuries at the same time. People that have been through ACL know what it's like and know what the rehab like. Are
you already signed for Roosters at that point?
I signed for Roosters, I'd already signed at that point, just before then. So I was very grateful that at least I knew I'm going to be in Australia next year no matter what. So I'm grateful for that.
Was that the same year? Because you get an England Knights call up that year?
Got an England Knights call up end of 22, but I did my ankle, like a minor ankle, and it's only like a 3 weeks thing, so I just couldn't go on the trip really. That was only a minor one really, but
that's one of them, innit? You're always probably thinking from the back of that injury, you're going into 23, thinking big year, get back into that England squad again. Before you know it, so you're 12 months off, but that's probably saving grace that you had that Roosters, which is another thing in itself, which we'll come on to, but Roosters come calling, and before you know it, so you're injured. That then builds you into the 24 season when you go over to Australia. So how did that come about? Because it was probably a bit of a shock probably to people, like, to see you killing it. Probably people thinking he's going to light up, Trinity fans thinking they've got a good in here, they don't come out, they produce, don't they, Wakefield? That must fast forward so quick, before you know it, you're in Australia, and it's like, where's that come from? So, like, what's that like? It didn't used to be really, I know it's more common now with sort of English lads going over there, but again, you'll be...
It wasn't that.
There's not loads and loads.
See, it like almost like when you went, it started like,
it was like 3 of us, I think, that went at the same time, all like around my age. I went at the same time, but...
Bet that was the best call ever from agent, that one.
Yeah, I didn't believe him. I told him to, like, I thought he was lying. I thought he was lying. I said, "You're lying to me. You know what you're on about?" But he said, "Yeah, it's serious." So get a call with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a one year deal that you went over.
It was originally a 2 year.
So that was a 2 year contract. Yeah. It's like you say, you're probably thinking, aren't you, at that point?
Yeah.
How has this happened that I'm here? I've been in college.
Yeah.
Next minute, I'm going over to Australia. I'm in Sydney.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're fully fit when you go over there.
No, I had to wait till round 3 until I made played my first.
So sort of off-season, pre-season.
Yeah,
you're still
pre-season.
rehabbing.
I was still rehabbing with Robert Toyer.
Right.
He was going through his second ACL at that time, so I spent a lot of time with him. So that was good to have like a partner with me training and rehab.
So did you jump straight into first team training then over there?
Yeah, straight into first team training. Yeah.
Was that difficult then when you? Gonna have to address that. Well, that first team sort of environment you going in, you just want to be straight in, don't you? I suppose around the but then I suppose if you're rehabbing, are you sort of separated from the rest of the squad when they're doing the field stuff, or are you kind of still as much a part of that as what everyone else is?
You're still around, like you'll do like gym at the same time and stuff like that, and you go out to the field, like maybe me and Rob would be on the bikes at the side while watching field or something like that. So we weren't really on the field right at the start, but it's still good to be around the boys, yeah.
That must have been crazy, that.
Yeah,
like,
it was
mental. Going from, no disrespect to Wakefield, but going to Wakefield, who at the time as well didn't have, I know they've got a load of facilities getting put in and things like that now, but then going to probably one of the most prestigious clubs in the world.
Yeah, it was mental.
In Sydney Roos, it must have been.
Gonna say, what was that like? As I say, you've probably, I don't know if you watch much NRL and everything else, but you've seen these on telly and they are elite, aren't they? I'm not saying the guys over here in Ox, a professional rugby league player takes an elite person, doesn't it? But going over there, did you notice the difference in being over here and being a professional rugby player, being able to walk around your local village, all the rest of it, Leeds, everywhere else? Yeah. A few people probably been able to stop you, but then going over there, you're seeing, not just yourself, but like these elite players around you. Is there a massive difference? Like what?
In that side of the place, they are like superstars over there, you know what I mean? If they go around, like say if they went around Bondi, Sydney, they'd get recognised and stopped like instantly, basically.
Yeah.
But in the skill side, that's probably the first, like everyone puts on the same players, don't they, in Super League and NRL, it's all the same, but I think the skill's just top notch, like from the youth to the elite as well, like the skill, they just get taught that from young, don't they?
What is just repetition? Like that's the thing, like, and obviously the game would be much better if it were just as easy as this is what it is that makes the NRL better, but like you say, it seems to be that just that skill level of as simple as the ball leaving the floor from a play to you scoring in court, that's the difference in it. I always see it as every pass has to be pinpoint for you to score at corner, otherwise you're getting pushed in touch. That's kind of how it looks to me, but is it as simple as that, or is it, are they coming up with these miracle plays and they've got more options, or physically are they bigger and better?
I think they are physically, like all the team is very physical, like just strong, athletic. I think the game is faster over there, so you kind of have to be more physical, or just strong, got like good endurance and that. But I don't know what makes it. I can't pinpoint what. I've had that question quite a few times, and I still can't pinpoint what exactly is the difference and why.
Well, I always think, Herbie Farmworth, do you think he'd be the player he is now if he didn't go to Australia when he was 16?
It makes you wonder there.
So say if he came through at, say, Wigan, if he came through at Wigan, I still don't believe he's as good as he is now.
Yeah, but they've just got more opportunity.
Yeah, like I just think over there, like everything is it is different over there, isn't it? Like you see players that go over there, English players know how to play and just fail.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you failed. Obviously, you did a year and you chose to come back to Saints, but like you can look at like Lewis Dodd or things like that, or even more senior players like Zach Hardaker went over there and things like that. Players. That's why I always the Burgess brothers are always stand out, aren't they? Because they're the ones that went over there and really made like it work.
Yeah. Who would you say is someone just off the top of your head then at the minute that is over here in Super League? So probably an English lad over here.
Yeah.
That could go over there and kill it. That's kind of not gone there.
there's a few good young guns in Saints, but I'm not going to say who they are because I don't want them to come grabbing them.
Poaching them off.
Yeah, but no.
I think Harry Robertson.
Harry
Robertson, he's got to be up there.
Yeah.
Like, I reckon if he goes over there, it just changes his game.
Because notoriously it is the backs, isn't it? That the forwards have gone there. I'm just thinking of even like Ryan Sutton went over there and did well initially.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Knowles that's go over there. He's going to kill it. It looks like it'll just suit his game to a T over there.
Yeah, definitely.
Bateman went well, obviously that time when he'd gone out, and then the Burgess boy. So it's like all the forwards going right back. Gaz Ellis, Morley, all these, and then obviously the back. Is it just? I don't know. Is more expected from the backs that you're going over there? Like, it does seem to be that forwards. Is it just the game maybe suits us English forwards going over there and doing it, whereas the backs, they're littered with so many athletic players over there. Is it to do with that?
There's so many outside backs.
And the opportunity is kind of like, it looks like you've got one opportunity.
Yeah.
Like you spoke about that Wakefield opportunity you had.
Yeah.
You had that opportunity again, didn't you?
Yeah.
Would someone get that same opportunity?
Nah, no way.
Yeah.
It's like you go in, you don't,
Yeah.
You don't end up sort of killing it in that first game, or you know, you have a few errors. Is it like, right, you're out, someone else is in? It's like there's always someone waiting, isn't there, to take your spot?
Yeah, there's always someone coming through. Definitely, I think there's such a good crop of outside backs, especially over there, because they're all athletes.
Yeah.
And then they get trained to be rugby players at the same time. So, yeah, I think you got that one chance.
Who were there anyone sort of like when you got to Roosters that you were sort of in awe of, like just their sheer presence, like again seeing them over here just on a TV playing rugby? Ultimately, they do the same job as you, so they're just another person, aren't they? But it's one of them, and some players just have an aura, don't they? I suppose if you get there, you're sort of like walking in the gym on that first day, probably pinching yourself, thinking, how have I made it here, like with these, and before you know it, who's someone that sort of in that squad you sort of looked at and you thought, yeah, he's some player?
All of them obviously were just crazy. Like that first week, I still couldn't believe who I was like with and who I was sharing the changing room with. But then once you get used to them all, you're just like, they are just normal guys, all good guys. But on the pitch, obviously James Tedesco, you don't see him drop a ball at all, like very rarely. I think that's one training session I've seen him drop a few, and that was like the first time I've ever seen him that happen. Like, it was just crazy. Then obviously Spencer Leniu and JWH, they had like a lot of presence around, especially JWH. He was the guy around there.
I suppose just leading on to Weir Hargreaves, when he came over, were you kind of not shocked of? He probably didn't play as many minutes as maybe people might thought, but just his sheer presence at UKR.
I think I knew as soon as he signed over there, he didn't even need to play many games this season to be around that changing room in training with him, and he'll change the culture of that, like
the winning culture. What he had, just again, like he's an enforcer, isn't he? But just to see sort of him going into a change room, because I think they mentioned something on like the year before, you've got half the UKR team, or majority, have never played in a grand final, and then this year they've got some that have played, but then they've got winners like your McLaurin, Weir Hargreaves.
I think that made a huge difference.
It completely changes things, doesn't it? But I suppose, like to you, it wasn't any surprise that kind of how they changed as a team last year. But yeah, there just must be some difference. Like you say, no disrespect to Wakefield, but some big players there, isn't there, as well? And there always has been at Wake, some big Aussies. But I suppose the same, if we flipped it, why do some kind of the overseas players, when they come here, what do you think it is that maybe they kind of don't set the world alight? Sort of some big signings have come here before, aren't there? At every club, really. And is it like the weather? Is it different training? Is it
I think the weather's got to impact
the number of games with like the Challenge Cup? What is it, do you think, for these players?
I don't know. I think it could be a lot of factors, like you say, like the weather and stuff like that. But I think in that first year, like a lot of Aussies that come over that first year, they might not set the world alight, but then as soon as they get in that second year, if they don't have any injuries or something, they will like be one of the top dogs in the league.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
That's going to be him.
To be fair, I was going back to him, I know he got brought up, and we were sort of saying last week for the spine for Saints, what does it look like? And we were saying like Hastings has to come over and play. Obviously the Rowley connection as well, but like Saylor probably got some unfair critics, really, given sort of like you were playing different positions all the time. But actually, I think his stats were pretty good, like his tries and his assists and stuff last year. So, like you say, probably might be a second sort of year syndrome where they grow into it. But yeah, it's always interesting because, like I say, some big names have come over in the past, haven't there? And you know, it's not just us going over there. They sort of expect us to go there and sort of set world alight. And if we don't, then we're not good enough. And it's happened here loads. You know, loads of players have come to Super League and done the same. But you obviously played New South Wales Cup then.
Yeah.
Whilst you were over there.
Yeah.
We've spoke about a difference in NRL and Super League, but how does that competition sort of compare to sort of Super League and an academy rugby over here?
Yeah, I think it is a bit below Super League. You don't have as many senior players that will be playing in that cup team. But I think because there is so many players in a squad in the NRL, there's the top 30, and then obviously development and training trial. Anyone that doesn't play NRL will play in that reserve team. So the standard is still pretty high.
So these players that are playing sort of New South Wales Cup, they're not out laying bricks 5 days a week and then playing, or is it a mixture of some?
Maybe one or two might still have a job, but like sometimes you get players who have played over 100 NRL games and returning from injury and they'll play in that reserve team. Yeah.
Did you find sort of like you dropping into that? Obviously you being the English lad and you know what the Aussies are like sometimes. Like, did you get any jip when you were over there?
A little bit, yeah.
In the tackles,
yeah, people just making fun of my accent. Really, that's all you got. Yeah, straight away. As soon as you say something loud, they'll just repeat your accent. Like, just take a mick out of you.
Gonna say it's one of them in it going over there, but it seems to be just the accent thing, I suppose, they pick up on. But yeah, obviously you say like that it's probably a little bit below kind of Super League, and we've started to see, haven't we, some of these players now, especially with like the quota sort of spots going up for overseas. You'll probably find more of them's going to end up coming over. Like, do you think Super League should be maybe worried for like our English talent coming through? Are they going to be sort of like them players coming through for us? So we spoke about, you know, like your younger lads coming through, England Knights maybe. Obviously they do the Origin now as well, don't they, for the academy lads. Are their chances going to be lessened from some of these lads now that are coming over and maybe taking their spots? I
think naturally they will. Like, the chances are going to be harmed because if you sign someone from over there, you're instantly going to want to play them, aren't you, really? Not saying they get a starting spot, but for a young kid that might be coming through and then an Aussie comes through, you're probably not going to get looked at first, are you? So I think it is going to harm a bit of the English game, but I think at the same time they want to make the Super League standard better, but I don't know, we'll see how it works out.
What do you think sort of Super League looks like in, sort of, it's a bit of an off question this, but the next, something's got to change, hasn't it, in terms of, and I know they're doing bits, and so it's gone to a 14 team now, so like, what, as players, are you ever, I mean, you just, obviously it's a job ultimately, isn't it, as well, so you know, you turn up, you do your job, you perform best you can, train best you can, and you know, you put on a show, don't you? And so for you, that's going back to like the acrobatic finishes and everything else. It was kind of like you took over from sort of the Makinson, Tommy Makinson, he were doing the same thing, Tom Johnson, these acrobatic finishers, you jump in. Surely we just need to see more of that and get more faces on the game to make it a better sport and a better, the product's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I think the faces get on it and they watch the game, but I suppose like for us as fans and everyone else, it's like, how do we get more people involved in watching the game? What do you think it looks like?
I don't know. I wish I knew. I'd be on the head panel at RFL, but I don't have a clue.
Is that the problem? Like, do you think
it's more stars,
more players?
Mikey Lewis's and stuff like that. People, no, opposition fans don't like Mikey Lewis, but you want him in your team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of other fans at maybe Wigan or wherever would probably have him in the arms. Yeah. He's a good player, and I think it's just having them sort of, like, everyone looks at it now, like, you know, like you look at Reece Walsh, his followers on Instagram, he's got more followers than I think like 90% of the NRL clubs over there.
You were saying that.
Like, you know what I mean? He's a star, and that's what you want for your young players coming through. Like, and Michael Lewis stands out more because he stands out when you watch him on the field. And like I say, some fans love him, some fans hate him, but you need them. We need more of them. Like, whether you like it or don't, you need more of them because NRL's just covered in it. Look at every roster that you go across. It's covered in them controversial players, players that are always on the borderline of causing something. It's just players like Jake Conor, you know, them sort of players. You need them. That's what grows your game. That's what grows
they're all
your fan
televised now, aren't they? I mean, it's one of them.
That's a good start.
But then
obviously,
you look, and there were some games last year, and they were like, I think it might have been your Challenge Cup game. I'm sure it was, and it ended up being on like BBC 3 on like a Friday night, and we're on iPlayer, you know, and it's.
I think it was on iPlayer, yeah.
Might have been on iPlayer, and you sort of think like Saints and Leeds, probably like from when we were all growing up. I mean, I'm a bit older than you lads, but that was like a massive game, and you sort of feel like before, well, that bigger then than kind of like what that is now.
Yeah.
I know you kind of like the Good Friday games and things like that probably still draw big crowd numbers, don't they? Like your TV figures, but it's all right televising every game, but when they're not prime time TV, like who's watching it? Yeah. But I've always said it, you know, we need to do more in like your primary schools. Like I remember primary school as a kid, we never had anything. I've had little bits in high school. I don't know if your situations were any different, but
I think you get when we were younger. I always found you got into rugby league just through someone you knew.
Yeah,
like your uncle.
You
played. I got into Logan. Like I played football with Logan, and then.
Or if it's good at football, you end up playing rugby league.
Like he just said, "Do you want to go training once?" And I went training, and obviously ended up playing. And I always feel like with like rugby league, like no one grows up really, like you know, really wanting to be a rugby league player. Like I feel like it always comes later on in life rather than because like football's the main sport. But that's the difference as well with the NRL. Like, a lot of people forget about like rugby's the pinnacle over there, and football's way down on below a pedestal. Like there's football players over there that are still working. You know, like part-time jobs and whatnot. So that's a massive difference as well. Like if you've got your number one sport, that's what you're going to focus on, aren't you, when you're growing up. But we do need to grow the game. It's just how do you do it?
I think that goes back to your point as well with like the stars, like Mikey Lewis of the stars, and you promoting more for kids to look at.
100%.
Because as a kid, like when you're growing up playing football, you name like, oh, I'm Messi, I'm Ronaldo, or whatever. You need someone like that who you can say,
wanting to be a Michael. I want to be Michael Lewis, or I want to be a Jake Conor.
And sometimes, like what I've noticed with football now, like a lot of kids don't even follow a team; they follow a player. So it's like,
so you end up supporting the club.
I've seen it before, in at school, where there's kids that come into the classroom and they're wearing Man City top. Oh, I thought you were wearing Leeds top all the day. Oh no, I'm wearing it for Phil Foden. You know, it's like, or they're wearing, the Inter Miami stuff because they've seen Messi wearing it, and that's what it is, isn't it? Like you sort of, it makes you wonder, kind of like we're not showcasing. I know they tried to do something last year at the Super League launch. I don't know if they did the same this year, but it were like they all sort of like wore their own kind of dress clothes. I think they look like Cruz Lehman,
I think you need more of that.
They were all wearing like more like fashion icons or anything, and again, it's just we're not almost out there. So I suppose we thank you for coming on here tonight, because it's more to get your face and other rugby league players out there, and you kind of look at it like there's the product there, and that's never been the problem. They mess about with the rules and all the rest of it, but it seems to me like and I know it's not as straightforward, but it's there, the game, and the players are there, but it's how are we promoting them players and getting them out there.
They did a bit last year though, didn't they? Send Semba down to like Wimbledon and stuff like that.
I think they are trying.
So but it's just getting them.
I think they've done like the American football, aren't they, before Vegas and stuff like that.
The Vegas thing is good.
Yeah.
The Vegas thing is good. Getting it more on a. And I think they move into a different country after that, aren't they? I think they've got.
They mentioned like Hong Kong, I'm sure. Something will mention.
Yeah, so I heard something like that.
Yeah, places like that. I think Derek Bowman was trying to get Lee to South Africa or something like that. That's a story, that's a story for another time.
Gonna say, is that something then as a player? So I know I think Saints were rumoured to maybe be part of that sort of Vegas trip as well. But as a player, are they games that you wanting to be going out and playing? So I know we spoke last week about sort of Hull KR's start to the season, and they've got the World Cup Challenge, Vegas, big games in themselves coming up. It probably does take its toll as a player, but you want to be part of them, surely. Yeah,
definitely. I'd love to be a part of all the big games that you can, because it's a short career, isn't it? And that's the games you look back at and think, oh, I'm glad I was there. I'm glad I played in those games.
Yeah. On stage like that as well, I suppose it is. They've tried it with Catalan, haven't they? They've took them to New Camp before and things like that. I think that's the thing. just getting them more faces, and maybe like we've explored. I'm not saying give up on like English fans, but we've explored like London and everywhere else. You know, there's still something to be said for like your Cumbria and places, but maybe we do need to be sort of trying further afield and things. But hopefully, like the NRL are kind of hopefully getting involved out there with bits, and that should hopefully help. And yeah, we'll see kind of where that sort of takes us. But I suppose going back to sort of the NRL, then you came and you signed for Saints. Well, that something. Were you at the Roosters when they played the World Cup Challenge, or was that the year before?
Yeah, I was there. I didn't get to. I was obviously still injured doing my rehab, but that was the year they ended up going. Yeah, they
went over there. So were Saints ever on the horizon before you went out to Sydney, or would it?
I think it was all like
how did the Saints
moving and stuff. But I never spoke to them officially. I never spoke to anyone officially apart from Roosters. And as soon as they called, I kind of have a mind made up on.
You don't turn that down, do you? There's no swapping. Yeah. Alexander Arnold. Why is he going? I wonder why. But yeah, obviously you do the season over there. Play obviously majority New South Wales Cup. How do you look back on that time in Australia?
I enjoyed it. I think I grew as a person and as a rugby player. But obviously, in a couple of games, that's when I broke my wrist as well. So I was out for like 10 weeks when I was over there. Aye. So I kind of I was under the radar then as well. And obviously they had Mark came in. Obviously he's a freak in it. So he was like, he's crazy.
Yeah, I was thinking
And Dan Utupu was still killing it as well.
Are you surprised at going off, digressing again, but how, like, is it like Marky Mark? Is that what the...
Yeah.
So you didn't pronounce it.
I'm not even going to attempt. But did you see him when he first came in then?
Yeah, seen him when he first came in.
Were you surprised how he adapted to...
I knew he was going to be
crazy
good, but I didn't think he was going to be that easy for him. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to.
It's like one of them, like all the not just his finishes though. Yeah. Like you looked at him in the Ashes, and like even just how he collects the ball. Like there was no one getting close to him.
Yeah,
like,
he's just genetically freak.
He was freakish. But yeah, obviously you look back on that fondly. Is that something that maybe you think about? Sort of like obviously you're still young. Is that maybe an ambition to possibly go back out there in the future and sort of like get back into the NRL?
Yeah, maybe one day, but I think at the moment I'm just looking to get every one of the games in and just just solidify my spot in St Helens really, and do something for them. I want to win a trophy with this team.
And I'm presuming that's kind of like when Saints come calling, it's different to the Roosters call, but you're thinking they've just done 4 years, I think the year before they'd done the World Cup Challenge, haven't they? And then they've gone. So they're looking for silverware again, but that's just every year at St Helens probably, isn't it? Like your Wigan. I know a lot of clubs do the same thing, don't they? Saints will be the same. Wigan, Saints. But Lee now will be looking for silverware every year. That's got to be. That's what you're in the sport for, aren't you? Obviously it's a job, but you're there for the moments, aren't you, to win silverware. And Saints come calling, you sign for them. Come back here, you start the pre-season, you were travelling back and forth, weren't you? So like travel back and forth, and then now you're over that way. So what's been the difference in pre-season last year, signing as a new player, to you're a year in? Last year, you had your fair share of injuries last year. Still scoring tries, playing games. What's different about this year to last year in terms of like your pre-season? Obviously different coaches, different players coming in. How are you feeling, I suppose, for Saints fans looking ahead to next year? Should be an exciting time to be a Saints fan.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an exciting time. I think Rose has already said what type of rugby he likes to play, and I think everyone's seen it when he's been at Salford. So yeah, it should be exciting, especially as a winger. I love to attack. Obviously, I'm not that big. I don't love running into big middles and that. I'll be scoring tries, but no, it's enjoyable. It's good to see, and obviously we've got lots of depth in everywhere now. So it's a lot of competition. So everyone's training hard. So
a strong squad. You've got players coming over with NRL experience. Hastings, Clemmer, Jacob Oast as well, which people probably might not know as much about, but McDonald coming over, which has got experience both sides of the globe. Like, seems that you weren't far off last year, really. Where I know it's kind of sort of pinpointed as not the best season for Saints, but coming into this year,
I think that's just your fans.
Really, it's got to be.
Last season was not a bad season. It got made out to be 10 times worse than it was.
I think it probably was just for.
I know, but you, like, unfortunately,
there is an expectation, isn't there? From
where did you finish? You finished 5th, didn't you? Were you 5th?
Yeah, I think you were 5th.
Yeah, you were 5th. You had Lee, who've come on leaps and bounds. You also had KR now up there as that's a big difference as well. Years ago, you had the same team.
Them two weren't involved, were they?
No, you had the same teams at the top. It were Leeds, Saints, Wigan, them sort, and not really changed. You had a couple of contenders now and then that'd creep up the ladder and whatnot, but I don't think last season was as bad as everyone makes out. Obviously, I'm not a Saints fan, so I probably don't feel it as much. But I remember watching a few games with you when up at Magic Weekend, that Leeds game. We've
got to touch on that. Yeah. We've got to touch on Magic Weekend.
That was mad, yeah. Not crazy.
What was that about? Surely you were as confused as probably everyone else. I mean, obviously Leeds fans, I'm sure, were begging you to get off, but like, I'm sure there were some Leeds fans that were probably thinking that would never.
Yeah,
you should have never have gone.
I just couldn't believe it. I don't know. I saw the video after and I did clip him like pretty hard. Like, I'm surprised he wasn't like fully knocked out. He was pretty bad, but I'll never intend to like.
Your eyes were
like that. Yeah, I never even knew he was there. Really, I just jumped to catch the ball. But it would have helped if I caught the ball, like. But I think no one could believe it. I couldn't believe it, and just first ever yellow card that as well.
And as a player, obviously, no one goes out to get yellow and red cards and all the rest of it. But as a player, like, how were you feeling? Because pressure were on Saints a little bit at that point, wasn't it? And probably on like the coaches at the time as well. And you sort of like you're playing, and you start off, and the next minute you sat on the sideline. And what's going through your head as a player at that point?
I don't know. I would have sat on the bike, remember, just hoping they don't score like, while I'm off. But
watching the clock go down, I think I've got to be ready to go.
Yeah, that's got a bit worse, bit, hasn't it? Just hoping they don't score whilst you're off.
Kind of my fault in it, but I think because it was such like a controversial yellow card, I think he was kind of seeing if it's not really my fault, like it's just how the game's going now. If you hit contact with someone's head, then
and you get it, don't you? That sort of like protection for the players, all the rest of it, but. It's just got to be frustrating, hasn't it? Because sometimes it's not black and white, is it? And you can understand like the fans' frustrations, but just as much like you as players and coaches, you sort of like, and I know who'd be a ref, really.
Yeah,
it's got to be one of the toughest jobs in itself.
No, but it should be made easier with video refs.
Well, it should be made easier, yeah.
So. That's one gripe, which I don't expect you to comment on, but watching it for 5 minutes. Like, you've seen
that
it.
I've watched it to do a warm up in itself.
So I've watched it live at full speed, and like I've already said, like it's knock on. Like, go to the toilet, whatever. Come back, they're still looking at it. Go to the kitchen, come back, they're still looking at it. I'm thinking, what could you be possibly still looking at? Like, they replay it, don't they? Like several times, and it's just, and that's another key thing. I think Lou Keary touched on it when he came over about like the. The refereeing and things like that, because when he made that comment, which he's touched on since he's gone back over and whatnot, and I know some fans got the backup about it, but at the same time, some of the stuff that he was saying, what true, especially with refereeing and things like that. I think that needs to be tidied up massively, because that's one thing. You watch NRL and it feels like I'm not saying they get every decision right, no ref or what system is going to get every single decision.
No, because NRL still get it. That bunker still gets it all the time still.
But at the same time, I'd rather make a little bit of an error and it be quick and just over with, rather than you've watched it 20 times and you've still got everyone at home still feels like that decision's wrong. Yeah. And that's the biggest gripe.
Did you watch that ref documentary?
I did actually. I enjoyed it.
Well, quite interesting. People probably do think.
People
probably do think like the.
And to be fair, you do watch it and you do realise it, but like at the same time, like that's my only thing is I'd rather a ref get it. You see it all the time. They get it wrong. They get it wrong on the field, and unfortunately, you've just got to let bygones be bygones, because that's just what it is. But the video ref is what I have the biggest problem with. So it's not necessarily the refs.
That's why sometimes it was probably better when every game didn't have the video ref, because the game probably finished after an hour and 40 minutes rather than taking 2 hours.
Some games were playing all up until about 10 to 10. Yeah, 10 o'clock last year. I remember saying to you, like, games are just dragging on, and that's why we missed his train back to
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah,
we
missed
missed
the
a train
train.
back on
Magic weekend.
Yeah, missed the train back.
We went back to the train station. And train was just.
He's going, I'll ring Murphy.
Yeah, I said, ring Murphy, we'll get on coach.
Coach back. We're clinging on to the back of it, I think. But yeah, obviously that were a controversial one. I mean, Magic then, just in itself, what are your thoughts? Had you played in a Magic with Trin before? Or?
In 02, yeah. Well, 2022,
yeah. Who'd you play that year?
Toulouse, we lost. We were winning at half time, and then
I remember that one.
David Figo got Simbin on the half time hooter.
Yeah.
And then they came out and just thrashed us like in the first 20 minutes, and we just couldn't crawl it back. Yeah.
He's a character, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Good guy
he's
to
good
play
to
with. Is he another one that you won't want to be stuck with on the
probably not.
But yeah, it's sort of like they've moved over to the Everton ground now, which probably did need to make some kind of change, didn't they? Really.
I don't think Newcastle are bad. I think they will get more fans at the Everton one just because it's closer to all the rugby league fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Newcastle is quite like the problem is with Newcastle is you can go up for a day, but a lot of people are staying weekend. But then the hotel prices were shooting up. Whereas, i.e., if you live in Lancashire, you're next door to it, so you could go there for a day, come home, and go back. It's just fair. We could probably get training. You know.
I think that's what they think. I think they are thinking that though, aren't they? That probably they will get more ticket sales, but probably like when it used to be like some fans would go Saturday and then they'd come for Sunday games, whether they supported team or not, so they'd make a weekend of it. But I think they're saying because a lot of local now.
So it's just a full weekend now. Yeah. If you're a neutral, especially more a neutral as well, or you just love rugby league, you're going to go for a weekend, aren't you?
It's a good spectacle, isn't it? And that should be like.
I'm glad they've kept it because they were planning on getting rid of it.
It's just important, like when they don't clash, like some other year, like things like you have like your Challenge Cup that'll clash with like FA Cup, and they're frustrating.
Yeah, because
like
viewing
really bad timing, and you just think. I know it's probably difficult from the organiser's side of things, but you want it to be on times when almost there's nothing else on the telly. That's why I always used to think Thursday night games were probably as a player. I don't know how players feel about Thursday night games.
Thursday night games are better. Try to get weekend off.
Yeah, I'd enjoy Thursday night.
Thursday Friday days off.
Yeah, but Thursday night games are the best games. Like I said, there's no on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
So it makes you think. Yeah, it's just again like what they'll do is they'll put Saints v RLFC on Thursday night, and it's like if you're a Saints fan and you're travelling over, or you're a Hull fan and you're travelling over, and they've got work. They're up for work at 5, 6 next day. It's tough for them.
They're never going to get it perfect.
No, they're not.
But I definitely think that Magic Weekend, that's a good switch. That.
Yeah.
But I did like Newcastle.
It looked good.
Been up a few times, but it looked good at Ashes.
I thought it looked really good. That probably out the games, like Wembley looked dead, didn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Not to digress too much onto Ashes again, but
yeah.
That Everton ground looks
good
bouncing. To be fair. So yeah, probably a good move, really. All in all, to go over there. And then obviously, just I suppose goals for this year. You've kind of touched on, sort of like getting a good run of games and things like. What's it sort of look? So you're in the final year of your contract at Saints.
Yeah.
What does a good year personally, and a good year as a team look like for Saints and for you?
Personally, just being on the pitch again, because I know what I can do when I'm on the pitch. It's just being on it for long enough. Just sad to say when I've never had to be like that, but yeah, just being on it for long enough to have a good run of games. Because I know with the talent we've got in our squad and the way we're looking to play, I know I should be scoring a good amount of tries and we should be winning a lot of games. So yeah, just cementing my place, cementing that wing spot really.
Yeah,
it's not far off, is it? You got a pre-season friendly?
Yeah, we got Cass. We got my leads as testimonial. Yeah.
Testimonial game, and then because they don't normally play too many. Did you play that West Hull game?
Yeah, I played that. Yeah,
right. I'd forgot about that.
Yeah.
But what was that like? Because you're sort of going from, as a fans are probably sat there out there thinking, oh, it should be 100-0 this, but it's obviously never as easy as that, is it? Because them boys are out to just take your head off out.
It wouldn't have been close. It was like 38-0, I think, something like that. But it was actually at the start, it was actually going to be a game.
It's a bit of a panic in it. If you don't score it first time, you're thinking this ain't good. This.
Yeah, it was actually
because you feel the crowd, don't you? Get on top of you a little bit, not doing not bad, but groaning a little bit more. When something don't go your way, and you're thinking it could quite tough.
Have they kept that on for this year? Is it same?
Yeah, I think
sort of
it's
format?
still same format.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you
same
could get a
format.
team.
End up playing
team
down
like
at
that,
Castlot Lane.
Yeah, so you could do.
That's weird.
Yeah, I remember seeing that and I thought, probably as them lads, obviously playing in NCL, which, so you never played NCL, did you? Or anything?
No.
I'm presuming at a younger age anyway, but there are some good players in that
Yeah,
NCL,
there are,
aren't
yeah.
there? They've just, I suppose, either just missed it and
But
not been
slip
picked
through
up,
crack, don't they?
slip through net, which is a problem in itself and it for a sport. But there's lads there, like, that's as good as it's going to get for,
so
for
they
some
go
of them
hard,
boys, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I suppose for you lads as professionals, you've got that respect for them, haven't you? That looks that big game for them, and we've got to take it seriously, haven't you?
Yeah,
But I think you had a pretty stacked team as well, didn't you, that day?
Yeah,
Like it wasn't like you just played all the younger lads. You
I think
were
there was
with a
only
pretty
like
decent team.
maybe 5 that were missing, 5, 6, but yeah, we went pretty hard because we knew they were going to come hard as well. You know, playing against St Helens probably.
Were you
might
not
have to-
surprised then, sort of as a team going into that, like, you know, you're 10, 20 minutes in, and I think it took a bit, didn't it? To
Yeah,
get
it took
sort
like
of first
15.
try to.
It was like 0-0 for the first 15 minutes, I think it was.
Were you shocked at that?
Yeah, I was like, well, this is quite hard. This is an arm wrestle. I was blowing, but
That's what I mean. You start,
Yeah.
you start panicking. You see it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you play a lesser team,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think this is gonna be like Salford did it. I know they got blown out a few times, but they still did do it on a few games. I know they did it at Lee and things like that, where they just kept hanging on.
yeah.
And then because it frustrates the other team a lot more, then because at the end of the day, you're looking at the Saints should be absolutely thrashing.
Yeah.
We're still, but when they hang on and the longer it goes on, obviously the more.
Well, that was the weird thing, wasn't it, for you last year? Because you played Salford just before this. You played them pre-season,
Yeah,
didn't
I
you?
played that first
And
game.
got tanked by them, didn't you? Didn't you play them pre-season? Well,
Oh yeah, we did play them in pre-season
And
as well. Yeah,
the-
and we lost. Yeah.
and then
and
quite
then-
heavily, wasn't it? That, I
Yeah,
think
it was- we ended up taking quite a few. Like I came off at half time. Like quite a lot of the.
which never, it just
the boys-
disrupts
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
flow,
yeah.
doesn't
So
it?
then we had them. We had them that first game as well.
And
When
then that
it was
was
like
a-
82 or something because it just
What-
that whole thing happened.
And that's the thing, obviously, like you mentioned, Shay, they got blown out a few times, and fair play to them, they kept playing, didn't they?
Yeah.
And you sort of like felt for lads that had to go through it all, like fans, and even like your lads that have gone on loan that have
Yeah,
pulled
Yeah,
on
they
a
give
shirt.
a lot of opportunities for them. Like,
Which-
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Because
it's a-
there's some lads
pulling
that
back,
probably
I suppose,
have played
isn't
it for this season that probably never go on to make Super League level
Yeah.
consistently, which is I suppose it's quite good for them, innit? Like they've got to play.
And it puts them in some players in shot window, doesn't it? For
Like
them
Declan
that are,
Murphy and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
he was surprising as well. Like put him in and got that gig at KR, not back a bit, but
Mm-hmm.
as a player there, you winning 82-0. You scored that game.
Yeah, I saw that game. Yeah.
So obviously you're getting over the line. For you as a player, like I suppose that's what you want, don't you?
Yeah,
New
yeah.
club, get over the line. Fans are expecting you probably to be scoring tries. You're coming in as so you were a big signing last year, really coming in. Probably the fans weren't expecting it. You've come in, done that, but surely, like as a player on the winning side, you almost probably don't even want to be in them games either, do you? Where you sort of like you sort of like kick off, get ball, score, kick off, get ball,
Yeah,
score.
Yeah, it did
Some
get a
games
bit
were like
teased,
that,
but
yeah.
I just love playing.
Yeah, I suppose you don't feel it though when you're a player, do you? You know what I mean, when you're actually on the field, it's more fans' perspective and stuff like that. When you don't feel it, you just do
Yeah,
the
you
job
just do-
out.
You
yeah,
feel
you
bad
just-
for them.
Nah. You're out on the field. This is what it is, isn't it?
You're doing your job, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's it. You're out there to do your job. You know what your role is.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the best part of being a winger? What's the best and worst part, actually?
I don't know. Best part obviously is probably scoring the tries.
Yeah.
Even though most of the time I don't even have to do any work for Al to put the ball
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
So, but yeah, scoring the tries. Worst part.
It's got to be them backyard carries, surely.
I actually don't really mind them too much anymore now. I've got like a little bit bigger. I do
funny.
kind
I'm
of
going to
enjoy
say
it.
because you were really, like looking back early now, like you were skinny.
Yeah, I was
weren't
only like weighing like 79, 80 kg in my first
you?
year.
Which is nothing. What do you weigh now?
Like 90, 91 now.
They
But-
did look a
Massive
difference, again, just from outside in. Like last year, it looked like your game were more than just tries. Like your carries
Yeah.
out, obviously, I'm either reading it wrong, but it looked like you'd spent probably a lot of time on like the handoff and
Yeah.
sort of like breaking first tackle and things. I could be way off there, but that's how it looked as
Yeah.
sort of someone just watching from a spectator's point of view. And I suppose that's what the wingers changed to, hasn't it? Like
Yeah.
you've got to be more than just scoring in corner.
Yeah, I think there's a huge part of a winger's game now, that yardage, and I think it's something I want to pride myself on is getting my team out of that tough spot and taking those tough carries. So I've started to enjoy that more now. It's probably just like the massive spirals that probably the worst part. Actually, I'll just leave them to
It's when you're playing like KR away.
Danny Buff spiral.
Yeah, just when it's
down.
Yeah, they're tough.
Windy as well.
Yeah,
Who can put one of them off?
Yeah, who have you feared most? Like not necessarily feared, but thought could be a tough afternoon.
After my Blake Austin after my debut.
Oh,
Blake! Oh
He
my
put the
God,
worst.
yeah.
I seen it all that I'm not catching this. I had to go, but I thought I might catch it. But like after that, every time he caught the ball and he was loading up, I was thinking,
You're thinking,
because it was
I'm
raining
putting
as
any
well.
pressure on
Yeah,
it.
it was awful. Yeah, probably him. Probably Blake Austin putting one out.
And like you can't really account for that, can you? Because like, obviously so much goes all conditions. If you do OKR on a wet Friday night, like
That's just
Matt
repetition.
Burton ones,
you can.
Like, I genuinely don't think it's impossible to catch them. some of the ones that he's put up before.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, how are you supposed to even get anywhere near that? But yeah, I remember Blake Austin actually he had an awful spiral.
Yeah, it's I always find with that. It's funny because I've asked that question before to people, like especially like your centres and your wingers.
Yeah.
Carrying out, and a lot have said, no, I enjoy that bit of game.
Yeah.
But I suppose you just get used to it, don't you?
Yeah.
And that's the bit I suppose that you can pride yourself on, that you're getting them out of that on when you're on back foot and you're in your tenant crowds on the back of you. You know, that's something I suppose what you as centres and wingers can be sort of like proud to say that you're doing your bit for the team, aren't you?
Yeah. Because the middles get all that hard work, don't they? They have to tackle all the time and do all that, so you want to help them out a little bit.
Yeah. Could you ever see your son moving into centre?
Maybe I'd love to. I'd love to be able to learn any position. To be honest, I love being on the wing, but I'd love to.
I'm going to say, like, were your academy, were that all on the wing, or did you play a bit of fullback, centre, wing?
Academy, I played not much fullback or centre. I mean, was just on the wing, but like at college and stuff, I play a bit of fullback, not to pass, just to have the ball. But as I got older, I obviously learned like you need to be passing and drawing your manning and stuff like that. And even at youth, I'd play fullback and centre. I'd never play on the wing until I got to college. Never played wing at all.
Well, it was more like you sort of didn't know how quick you are. Are you quickest in the team?
Yeah.
At Saints, we was on about this the other day. It's either me, Owen.
Who thinks are the quickest?
Harry thinks he's the quickest.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't know. He's quite modest. He's quite humble actually. But
you were fast, to be fair, getting across to
he's
that.
quick. He's quick.
Oh yeah, to be fair, I remember that one against Leeds.
Look at
that. And Tristan as well. Probably it was 4. Probably up there for the quickest. Yeah.
To be fair, I'd say you're up there top 2 though. Out there.
Yeah, I know I'm quick. Like in a foot race, I'm not gonna say someone's gonna hunt me down. I'm gonna try to get away from them.
What about that? Just going back to that try, that Wakefield try at Jungle.
Oh yeah. That ain't even me. I don't even know why I did that. I never normally do that stuff, but I don't know. It just felt right.
I think you did it on like 40 metres, like 40 out as well.
I'll put it up to earlier. Can you this year then, if you're doing that, if you're in that position again, can you give us a?
I'll do
give
one.
Us a point.
I'll do one. I'll try to do one. Yeah.
Give us a point of finger mark going over the line. But yeah, you must be excited, obviously, for the upcoming year. As I say, there's a lot of change at Saints this year, but obviously for you personally, some games, some tries last year, probably, as you say, coming back from NRL as a better player and a better person, but I suppose as the years keep going by, you mature into, like you say, like your different roles in the team and things like that. What can sort of like Saints fans expect from this year?
I think they can expect what they always expect, really, just trophies. I think that is the standard at Saints and winning games. I think I realised early on there is a massive expectation for Saints, and that's how it should be, it's how it's always been. So yeah, I'm expecting a big year. Did
you find that when you first got to the club, like straight away there were a kind of a different, not as a person but a club aura? Again, that's no disrespect to any other team, but when you walk through them doors for like first time, or in changing rooms, or down to training facility, like, do you just feel that sort of sense? Like, I'm not saying it's on par with Sydney Roosters, but can you see similarities as to why St Helens have been such a good team?
Yeah, you can see all the trophies, and as soon as you step in, you can see all the history of the club, and obviously they're very proud of that. And I think the way you talk at the start of the season, like you are going to win trophies, so I think it's straight away, it's ingrained in your brain that you need to be up there.
Sweet. Yeah, I think it's an exciting time for Saints fans in the coming year. And as you say, you're sort of like littered with depth now to the squad. Felt came in last year as well, and has he been good for you in terms of, so he plays the other side. So is it a case of like, do you kind of like learn off each other? He's obviously got a stellar career over there. I think he came over here as up there with not top try scorer in NRL that year.
I think
before,
he was second that year, or maybe second the year before.
So it was that were another big pull really for Saints to get him over here. But I suppose loads to learn off. Maybe a completely different player, but I suppose he can probably teach you a lot as you know when you sort of came back. Yeah,
I think when you've got that much experience and the accolades he's got, like he's done it for more than 10 years now, and so he's got all that experience. So yeah, try to pick his brain a lot, and he's also good with helping you as well. Like he's excited to like teach the young ones how to do certain stuff and how to get better. So he's good to be around.
Nice. So we could keep going on. There's loads to discuss, but we sort of just wanted to kind of wrap up the first Behind the Name podcast, and thanks again for being the first person to come on it.
That's all good.
Some quick fire questions, and I'll try. There's a couple that we touched on midway through, but who's the best player that you've played against? So it doesn't have to be. It can be a winger, or it just could be someone that you've looked at other team and thought, just call this today.
Jai and Bevan, but because Jai made me look silly. Games I went to. He wasn't known. I just remember it because I remember I was one-on-one with him. And I was thinking, which way is he going to go? And he just stepped me completely away. My head was on the ground. Like, and Sam and Isaac were next to like watching it as well on the side, and they just remember telling me so many times like he made you look silly. So him and Bevan as well. He's obviously he's tough to defend.
What makes them two so good?
Unpredictable, and they're so quick.
You just don't know what you're
just do everything, can't they? You don't know what they're going to do. That's the problem. When you don't know what a player's going to do.
Yeah, I think on the Good Friday game, I've seen them next to each other, and I've seen them just do a nod to each other.
Like they're plotting something.
And I knew something was going to happen. The next thing you know, they've scored. It's hard. It's so hard to just try to predict what they're going to do.
You scored Good Friday game, didn't you?
Yeah.
Good try,
Yeah. As I say, well, one of them games, like, well, we'll come on to it. One of them were what's sort of the best atmosphere that you've played in.
Yeah, that game. That game was just, it was amazing. Yeah. Even though we lost, it was just walking out to that. We're just like, it was.
Did you play in? So that were at DW on it.
Yeah, DW.
Footy Stadium.
Yeah.
Did you play in the Wigan Saints at?
No, I didn't. I didn't play in that one. No.
So obviously this year.
It's that Saints this year. Yeah, Good
Friday.
Friday.
You'll be sort of like looking forward to. You can can you feel that sort of rivalry? Because there's massive into everyone. Hull and Hull, Wakey Cass.
Yeah.
You played in a Wakey Cass.
Yeah.
How does that Wakefield Cass compare to your Saints Wigan game that you played?
I think that Saints Wigan one I could really feel like the old school rivalry, proper rivalry, and even
like
leading up to the game, the proper hate each other.
Do the players? I know you're professional, but do the players feel it like?
Yeah, I think so. I think they know it's going to be.
Sometimes you play off crowd as well.
Yeah, I think you've got to bring the
fireworks,
haven't you? So, yeah.
So Wigan, that's the best atmosphere that you've played in.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah,
up there. And best player that you've played with.
It's a tough question because there's so many different positions, but
obviously I know you've been the Roosters lads, but like someone that you've been on the field, and could be anything from that point of like skill wise or just. I want him on my team every week.
I think Morgan knows you'd want him on your team every week. First, he's just
works hard.
Straight workhorse, and he's got mad skill with the ball as well.
So for all our NRL watchers,
he's gonna kill it. He'll kill it.
How do you think he's gonna go over there?
Yeah, I think he's built for that type of
I'm surprised he didn't went over earlier. You know.
I am.
Yeah.
I think he's done his. He had testimonial, didn't he?
He did his testimonial last year, yeah.
And I think
this year.
It's not often sometimes that sort of like fans are fickle out there, but it's not often that players leave a club on like sort of like see you later, hope you do brilliant, all the rest of it. Whereas I think every probably Saints fan genuinely was like, thanks for everything you've done.
Yeah.
You know, go and kill it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think he'll kill it over there.
Yeah.
He'll do really, really well. And Dolphins look sick team for next year as well.
Really
They've got that Cobbo, haven't they, as well?
Yeah, they've got another 1 year deal,
Yeah, it'll go well. What's the favourite try? What's the best try you've scored?
My best or my favourite?
But give us both. Yeah, both.
Favourite's got a bit finger wag to
I don't, yeah, I'd say that's probably my favourite.
Is it actually? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
A full length try on it. It's always good.
Yeah,
to
that's
get
probably
them
my favourite. I don't really know.
And the best
The
one then.
best.
I'd say it's that Wigan one Challenge Cup when you played.
Yeah, that
Wigan.
was because it was
Wigan.
raining. But I think it wasn't on TV. But the one against Hull KR, it was in 2022, and
Like bottom right
oh
corner.
yeah, no, I was like pretty much upside down vertical because it wasn't on
Yeah,
TV.
yeah.
Not
Oh,
many
yeah.
people would have seen
Yeah,
it. But
yeah.
that's
Do
probably my
you
best try.
practice that sort of stuff?
I did
Or
a bit.
Is it pretty natural? Because you do see some teams
Yeah.
sort of like putting the crash mat out.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
So
I think we did a bit at Wakey, and I've done a little bit at St. Helens. We don't practice as much. It's just more when you're in a
Is
situation
that like
at
an
training.
extras sort of thing?
Yeah,
If you wanted
that's
to
like
do
an
that,
extras. Yeah, you wouldn't like see that happen fully in training. It's more of an extras, but I think it just.
I think when you just know to do it, don't you?
Yeah, I think it just.
Because
comes
you grow
naturally.
up watching, like before you'll have made your debut, you'll just watch wingers
Yeah,
play
yeah.
Super League and just see them dive. I think you just got to go for
Yeah,
it,
you just
haven't
wanna
you?
do it.
I mentioned like making some fun. I'm sure it probably did happen in the past. I don't know if it just 'cause you saw it on telly more, but it was sort of like when Makinson started doing that one-handed put down. It was like revolutionary.
Yeah.
And then Johnson obviously did it as well, and
He's
it wasn't like
class,
I don't know
yeah,
if it
he's
would cost
class,
like
yeah.
Ryan Hall's just built different, so he'll just
Yeah.
barge him off.
Yeah,
and
I
just
don't
put
think
it down
he's
the
not
corner.
bothered about diving because he
Yeah.
knows whoever's running towards him.
Yeah, just swat out at
9
way,
times
but
out of 10 he's just going to...
yeah, you sort of see kids now will just practice.
Yeah, I
that,
think
won't
it's
they?
like a standard for a winger now to be able to
Yeah.
finish in corner.
And then you mentioned it there, obviously, and I know I sort of said it like extras and stuff, and I sort of speak to the, like, for people that don't know, I'm a teacher, so I'm talking to the kids all the time. You know, what do you want to be when you're older?
Yeah.
Footballer, rugby player. As every school does, and you sort of 2/3 of your kids that are putting your hand up, they want to be that elite sportsman, but what does that actually take? You know, because it might be, I'm not, you know, sometimes you're fortunate to be in a position to be noticed or to be seen, but you don't sustain that if you're not an elite sportsman. So what does elite look like?
A lot of sacrifice, I'd say. That's probably number one.
Starting with family.
Yeah, starting with just family, then as you get into like, it's that 16, 17 where people like, that's when
Booze
like, that's
comes
where
in.
it gets separated, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've known a lot of my friends who could have been better than me or say at least
gotta be joking,
at least
sure.
playing professional. So
Yeah.
but I think when you get that age and like, you know, other things come into play, like
That's
going out
probably why I
and
just
stuff
went to
like
parties and
that.
stuff.
Going out
Can
parties and
imagine
stuff
you
like
haven't
that.
stopped.
that I'm still
Yeah.
there, you know.
Hard work, just sacrifice and hard work really, and then your talent will shine through, yeah.
And then sort of like, you know, you'll have seen it with sort of players, and obviously I'm not asking you to name people, but you've probably got your full squad, but then have you got players that you know that will definitely be there first, they're definitely still there at the end of the session? And it don't mean to say it's the same for teaching, like I don't need to be there at 7 in the morning and still be there at 6 at night to be a good teacher.
Yeah.
You know, you can still be a good elite rugby player and do what you need to do, but is there something to be said for like the extras that you're putting in after sessions, before sessions, you know, when it's not your training days doing your other bits? Like, is there anyone that you've sort of seen at, could be any club that you've been at, that sort of like that?
There's a few like Joseph Suarez, so he's obviously he's probably one of the most professional I've seen.
Right.
Johnny Lomax he's been through a lot of injuries in his career, like 3 ACLs, and he's still play for England.
That's
won
crazy,
that
that, isn't it? How'd you go from
3
3
ACLs
like...
at the age of 23. So he spoke to me about injuries a lot, and look at him now, he's still playing. He's won 5 trophies.
Yeah.
And he's crazy with his rehab sometimes. Like he's in like non-stop moving, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it, but it's different for different players. I think some people can just turn up, no warm up, no nothing, and just still be able to kill it.
Yeah,
so I think you just need to know your strengths and whatever your weakness is, just work
That's
on
it. I suppose that's probably the hardest thing as a coach, isn't it? Like, sort of not, if a player's doing what they need to do but still performing.
Yeah, it's just what can you say to them? Yeah.
What can you say? Yeah, you know they're going to go out, and it's that reliability in it. They know that probably going to turn up on stage and they're going to perform. Now I've seen a quote that I don't know if you've heard it before, and it said something like, "There's never any traffic in the extras lane."
Yeah,
facts. Like, it's fact, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you won't see as many people at them times when, like you say, it's dark out now. you know, your runners probably go into hibernating and all the rest of it, but then you will see just people that are slogging it, and you know, that's your extras like it, and it does pay off, doesn't it? So I suppose it's for them sort of kids, and I look at it from a teacher's perspective of, you know, when I've got 250 kids in a hall and 200 of them put their hand up to be a rugby player, footballer, gymnast, whatever it might be, any walk of life, it does take that extra mileage, doesn't it? So yeah, I was just interested to see kind of what you thought on that. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, mate, to have you on the first episode. Really appreciate time, because I know your day off today. Yeah, you probably don't get many during pre-season, so appreciate you taking your time, mate. I suppose we'll wrap it up by just thanking Nova Coffee for sponsoring the podcast. Shay, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll be back for a second episode with another elite sportsman very soon.